mean, none of this would be possible without the generosity and the giving nature of everybody who's listening, of the membership of OOIDA, of other truckers. Again, I mean, we're just here as a conduit.
Welcome to Day 5 of our Truckers for Troops campaign. Scott Thompson here. With time running out on the campaign, we thought it might be a good idea to remind folks where their hard-earned money is going when they contribute. And joining us with those helpful reminders are some familiar voices. Mark Reddig, Jamie Jones of Landline Magazine is here as well. And Narita Taylor, OOIDA's Director of Public Relations, joins us also. Three of you, welcome.
Hey, great to be
Glad
here.
to be here.
We've been talking all week about where the money that's donated during Truckers for Troops is going. We know about the care packages. We've talked about that a lot over the years, and we know about the Veterans Community Project. Narita, you have been to quite a few of those VCP sites, and I wanted to start with you by just kind of talking about what they're doing out there to help veterans in need and what you're seeing, what you're hearing out at those sites. It's pretty moving, right?
It's really incredible. You know, the Veterans Community Project is really a really great organization. And I know I don't want to take away from all of the other organizations that do great things for veterans, people who have served, come back home. But what's really unique about them is they do a combination of things. They have their outreach services, and then they also have a campus of tiny homes. And yes, we've been able to visit 3 of them so far, and we hope to visit more. Some of them are still in the planning stages. About 4 of them are up and running. But what I've noticed is that there's consistency and yet uniqueness at the same time with the differences in the locations. They have the same template, but then they have, different people running them who are veterans themselves. And it's just extremely moving to visit and hear these individual stories.
Yeah, we've talked about some of those stories throughout the week and kind of highlighting what they do there. Jamie and Mark, you've been here from the start at the Truckers for Troops campaign.
Yes, we have.
What I think is
we were
interesting.
very young.
Very young.
Very
in high
young.
school, I think, right? Yeah, very
fresh
young.
Fresh off the
Like
boat.
13.
Yeah, absolutely. What I think is cool about it, there's a lot of things that are cool about this campaign. One, I think in recent years that has kind of come into focus is that we had the care packages for a number of years, and we're still doing that. But the mission has never changed, but the focus has a little bit. And the VCP being folded into this is really a big aspect. And I think it really speaks to the fact that OOIDA is looking to help, everybody who has served, people who are actively serving and people who are veterans. And it really does speak a lot to the overall mission.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things we're kind of plugging into with VCP is that there is a brotherhood, for lack of a better term, among veterans and among our troops. They want to help their fellow veterans. They want to do that. And I kind of think with all of the veterans who are behind the wheel, we're kind of, we have our members who are really, this is their part in it. And we're kind of enabling that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we're just a conduit for the very natural giving nature of truckers. And I still, and I've told the story a million times over the years, but, we really didn't know what we were getting into. We knew that truckers were extremely generous, would give you the shirt off their back. We knew a lot of this. We knew we had a lot of veterans, but we didn't know that this far in we would be over $800,000 raised that went directly to care packages or VCP, because not a dime is spent on any administration, nothing.
Yeah.
And if you had told me that when we got started, that we would be literally starting to flirt with $1 million, I would have thought you were crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that number obviously will grow here as we close out this campaign. Speaking of the donations, and Narita, I know with the VCP, they are very efficient with the money that they get. Can you talk a little bit about that and specifically where that money is going toward those veterans who are, again, in need of a little bit of help?
Sure. So, if you're talking about the Veterans Community Project, they have such a variety of services. And what we've noticed is that, while our presence overseas has kind of waned a little bit compared to when we started the campaign, we knew that there were ways that we can still help veterans and that our members would be on board with that. And the VCP does such a great job of doing a variety of things, no matter what your status, what your discharge status is. They're not bogged down with the things that the Veterans Administration, not to put them down, but they are a nonprofit. They are their own entity, and that's something that we want to make sure people understand. If they're giving money to us to give to them, it's going straight to veterans, and it's a really great project.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, too. I mean, VCP has, she talked about the community outreach for, the homeless veterans. We have the tiny homes to get them in a house and all of that. But they do partner with other organizations. If they don't have the service necessarily, they know how to connect you with one that can get you this, what you need. And I think that collaboration is what really impressed me. There's not a greed, like we are the one-stop shop. Mm-mm. What you need, we're going to help you find, and we're going to get you connected. And that, to me, was incredible. And it's everything from you as a human to potentially a pet that you bring along with you.
Right.
They can connect you with veterinary services.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just, I can't say enough about VCP. It's that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's all right. I was just going to add to that. And one of the things, you mentioned the VA. The VA is sometimes an impenetrable system.
Red
It's
tape all
really
over it.
difficult
Yeah.
for veterans to figure out how to get access. That's one of the first things I talked with VCP about, was the fact that they help them navigate all of these different systems that are there for veterans. And that is invaluable.
It really is, because you can just get so worn slick playing with government red tape that you give up.
Yeah,
and
it happens all the time.
It does.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've all had our version of it in something, but to be in dire straits with, potentially, homeless or in need of medical care or whatever, and to be in that situation that you feel powerless, and then have a group like VCP step in and go, you know what, we can help.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, they are quite literally changing lives for the better on an everyday basis.
1,000%. You can't understate that.
So we have talked about where the money goes, right? VCP and these care packages that will be going out. Let's talk about now how people can contribute, because the weekend's coming up, and even though the phone lines won't be open and people won't be answering them, there are ways to donate over the weekend, Mark.
Absolutely. Number one, OOIDA.com. We're going to have buttons right on the front, one that says Join Renew if you want to take part by that method, and another one that says Donate Now, where if you just want to donate money straight into the fund, you can do that. And you can still call the phone number 816-229-5791. Just hold on to that line while it goes through its message, and eventually you'll hear that beep where you can leave your name and phone number. And if you call any time before the start of business Monday morning, membership will call you back and you'll be counted.
The whole thing, none of this would be possible without the generosity and the giving nature of everybody who's listening, of the membership of OOIDA, of other truckers. We're just here as a conduit.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys listening to us are the ones who make it happen and make this all possible. And for those who have served, thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
That's right.
Yeah. And donations, it could be $1, it could be $5, whatever you're able to contribute. If you're looking to join or renew your OOIDA membership, you can do that as well, and part of the discount that you get will be donated as well. So a lot of ways to give. I appreciate all three of you being here to talk about this, and thank you to everybody listening, and I'll echo your sentiment as well. Thanks to everybody out there who has served.
You bet. Thanks.
Thank you.
And that's our show for today. Remember that you can donate to the Truckers for Troops campaign 24/7 all the way up until Monday morning at OOIDA.com. Every little bit helps someone in need. We thank you for any and all donations. We thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again soon. From all of us here at Landline Media, have a great weekend and drive safe out there.